Mic check. Mic check. Infamy is coming. You know what infamy means? No. You know what infamy means? You do. You're English.
I'm English. I'm more whiter than you.
Bro, your grammar's and we're just gonna talk like we naturally would, right? Like no one's watching us right now. There's no camera in the room. We're not making it awkward right now. This isn't gonna go for thousands of people to see how stupid you are. I was kidding.
Chris, have I ever been awkward?
Yeah, all the time. Regardless of all that, okay, so we've been doing a lot of one-on-one, or I guess one-on-two really, the last little bit here. I think we've been able to solve what some of your challenges are to close deals. So talk to me. What have you learned the last day, and what do you still need help on? What do you think is still like holding you back?
What I've learned is we just really got to be, in a sense, more direct. That's kind of what you've been teaching us, especially in this last day. You just kind of show us just how to bull rush someone.
So the term for that is called steamroll.
So we're just
now people like that, but yeah.
Yeah, we're steamrolling them to where they kind of get stunned, put them in a corner, and then we put them in a position where they have to answer a question.
It's called sales.
Yeah,
I think you're describing it's called sales. Yeah.
And where we can get them to buy.
So if you realize what we practiced yesterday, we went from telling them to asking them. You guys notice that? Every time that they were saying whatever the prospect was saying, we just asked a question back and we kept them on the phone. And I know yesterday you talked about like, oh, now it's making sense now that you're doing it in practice instead of just on a whiteboard. I've also said, if you ask the questions, you're the ones in charge of the conversation. And now I think you guys are starting to realize that, yeah, you guys are in charge of the conversation. You're able to keep on the phone by asking these questions. And it's the same thing that we have taught. The same thing in boiler room when he's like, ask him a question, ask him what his hair is, who cares, ask him what the weather is, ask him a question, keep him on the phone. And that's like step one of what I'm trying to teach you guys is, you know, being that authoritative figure and asking them questions. You know, and you can use questions to direct them down the line to the point you want them to. You can use questions to control the conversation instead of them giving you an answer. Don't believe anything they can say. When you go buy a car, are you truthful?
Nah.
Why?
I'd be capping.
Why?
Because I don't want to get sold.
Yeah, exactly. So you think these guys think, oh, this is just a really nice guy calling me right now that I've never talked to? He's not going to sell me. No, every defense is up. And our audience, what I learned yesterday is our audience is getting smarter, you know, and way more defensive, way more like resistant, which is fine. That's totally fine. We got to know in the beginning, you know, and that's fine. And you could break them down. As soon as you break them down, though, have you guys noticed with guys like that? Because you've gotten some deals that as soon as you break them down, the floodgates kind of open. Mm-hmm. It's just about getting through to the guy.
And once you get them once, then that's when you're able to get them just to reorder and reorder and reorder. And then the way I set my accounts up, the ones that I do have, I set them up with enough stocks where they have to come back. So they'll sell out quick, but they'll be buying less, but more.
Look, I know my brother likes big deals, and who doesn't like big deals? But my thing is, you work so hard to get the guy done. You know, $300, $400, $500 isn't going to change anybody's life in reality, right? So when they place this product on the shelf, like you said, they're going to sell out quick. Think about it. They see probably on the low end 10, high end 50, 100 customers a day. So pick your medium, 25, 30, and they sell a few singles to a few guys for like 3 or 4 days. By that point, they're like, I'm already halfway sold out. How'd that happen? And that's why I like the psychology of it. Then they buy in. They're like, oh, this stuff does sell. And they call back. And then you get that big order, you know, $1,000, $2,000. And you can grow with them and help build that account out because now you've established that trust. Have you guys had any accounts yet where you're like, hey, we have a buyback guarantee, and they come back and like, I want the buyback guarantee?
Nah, I haven't been around that long.
Well, but you've used it with you know, a handful, and they've gotten their product. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Just the things we've offered, yeah. That's why I've gotten some people sold. For some people, I mean, even yesterday, I was using that, bro. Like, I'll literally send it over, and like, I won't even like ask you to ship it back because I know it'll sell. And that actually, that is fire.
It's about confidence, conviction, enthusiasm, being an expert. These are the things we talked about the last 2 days, right? Yeah. You need to be a professional, you need to be a expert, and you need to be enthusiastic and have conviction. Imagine we walk into Lamborghini and the guy's like, yeah, like this car's like, I think it's like, you know, like it works. What the That's not the impression you get when you walk in there. They're like, these cars, like, first of all, sir, don't touch the car.
Yeah.
You wanna drive this? Can you handle this, sir? Think about that for a second, right? That's how it is. I mean, you know, the dealerships I've been to, they're usually nice. There's been a few that I've been rude to, but they're usually nice, but they're stern, they're assertive, they're professional, they're an expert, they're stoked on the brand. Like, it's like their brand, they take ownership, and that's what you guys need to translate over the phone. It's like, are you ready to make this money with me, dog?
I'm ready.
All right.
Because that's where we're gonna go. That's my goal here. My goal isn't to look. Can we both agree that $300 isn't gonna change our lives?
No.
100%.
Can we both agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna lose sleep. We're not gonna be pissed or anything, or overjoyed even if we make $500 off of that, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when we do, right? So why do you think, or why am I getting the impression that you think it's so important for me to press $300 on you?
Because I feel like that's kind of what you guys is distilled within us at first.
No. I'm talking to you as you to a client.
Oh, me as a client.
To build trust.
To build trust, just because, just kind of with that 300 to 500 is just kind of we're just putting in our pinky toe into the water, not going.
Yeah,
fully in.
100%.
And then after on that second order is when we can kind of put in our ankles and then
Yeah.
with more time fully plunge into the water.
Yeah, 100%. So my point is, when you're talking to the client, is this is not going to break either of us. So why do you, like, this is, like you said, this is the starting point of a relationship to show you that, like, the product for a second. The product will sell. I mean, that's not the issue here. The issue here is I want to build trust with you. I want to build a partnership with you. I want to be your guy in the corner. I want to be an advisor. I want to be a partner. I want to be all these things. And it starts with a simple, tiny transaction that none of us are going to lose sleep about or even probably can remember until it gets to your store. I'll remember because I get you tracking and make sure it's good because I'm a good partner to have. But you get my point, right? And that's how I want to begin. We'll worry about making the millions tomorrow. But today, let's start the relationship. And tomorrow, I'll figure out how to make the millions with you. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
I think the part where I struggle the most at is like building that you're in the market with me. You're not like you're not buying into my products. You're buying into me.
So here's
That's
how you
the
say
hardest
that,
part
right?
to communicate.
Here's how you say that, right? You say, Mr. whatever his name is, Carl, there's people that sell products and there's people that become partners. A guy that sells you a product probably won't return your calls, will say at the highest price, not leave any margin for you, not offer any marketing, not really treat you as such because they did with their job. They sold you a product, which there's people out there, and I get it. They're there to sell a product, which is great. There's hundreds of thousands of products in the world. What I'm here to do is build a relationship and a partnership with you, meaning, yes, one piece of our relationship is a product, but how are we going to market that product together? How are we going to maximize your margin versus other products on the market? How are we going to do market analysis for how the industry's changing or the current price points or what the customers are asking for, which is the most important, right? Consumer insight. What is your goal? To market and to sell to consumers. What is my goal? To market and to sell with retailers and wholesalers. So if I don't understand your audience, how the am I going to help you at all? I just gave you a mouthful, I know, but you can condense that. That's basically what we're trying to translate here. That's what we're trying to get across. So in simpler words, Carl, you run an amazing business. You sell to consumers. I work with wholesalers and retailers around the globe. I market with them. I become their partner. Sometimes I become their best friend. In this case, if I don't understand your audience and can't guide you to maximize your profits and help your business grow, then I'm just selling you a product and I have no interest in that. There's guys that their first order I took was $200 5 years ago, and now they're spending $50,000 a month with me. That's the goal when I sign anybody up with our platform. Do you think you guys can say that?
Hell yeah.
But then when they give you the rebuttal of that, oh well, like I just don't really care about that. How do you do you think it's just
Wait, so give me the rebuttal.
so the rebuttal would be like yesterday? Remember yesterday?
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
Yeah, I
Be like,
don't really
okay, so you don't care about making more money?
I do, but I just don't really care about the logistics of that. I kind of like to just do everything on my own.
I totally get that, and I understand that. You like to do stuff on your own. Have you heard the phrase "it takes a village"?
Yeah, I have a kid.
You have a kid? Okay. So, are you a single dad?
Yeah,
Is that where this comes from?
maybe.
You don't want to ask for help. You're too proud.
Maybe it's my pride.
Okay. Well, look. Here's the deal. Do you think these big companies, there's one guy that runs everything? Sounds like a miserable way to live. Why don't you allow a little help? Let me rephrase. How many shops do you own right now?
Let's say I own 4.
You own 4. You own all of them by yourself.
Just about. I have some managers and stuff, but
So you do have help.
yeah.
Okay. Is there any in the last? And I'm thinking about myself here. I'm thinking I got this industry a few years ago. I wish I had someone that. I made a couple mistakes, as we all do. I wish I had someone to kind of guide me. I could bounce stuff off of. Do you wish the same?
Yeah, I would wish the same. Sometimes it gets a little hard.
Look, I'm not saying I'm going to advise you on your business, but I want to make sure that I can maximize your dollar and help you in any way possible. Because yeah, like the product's great, but the product's going to change. It does. We live in a consumer-driven nation. It's always going to change. Regulations will change. Laws will change. So I guess what I'm trying to translate to you is I'm not trying to come in and change your business. What I'm trying to say is right now this product's hot and I want to be able to be an advisor and a partner in the coming years as the industry shifts to help you make more money. And what that looks like is you may be taking it the wrong way. If something becomes illegal or doesn't sell anymore, I don't ignore you. I talk to you as a partner. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now?
Yeah.
Does that sound better?
It does sound.
And I apologize if I misspoke before. I like to get big with my vision because I want to go as big as you want to go, but that's genuinely what I mean.
Damn.
You write that down?
Yeah, I got a little cord in that. That's crazy.
Would it be good like to throw in a question like, Mr. Chad, like there are people that sell products and people who become partners. Do you know the difference?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I'm going to say, yeah, I buy from you or you help me, right?
Not necessarily. There are people who sell products.
Yeah.
They're gonna give you at the highest price. You're never gonna hear from them again. They're there for that one sale. Me, I'm here to become partners. I want to grow together. My goal is to market your shop. Say you have 3 shops now. I want to be there when you get to 4, 5, 6, 7 shops. I want to be your kind of guiding light here. I'm always gonna have something for you. Any law comes, I have something. I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah, 100%. So, see, even my brother loves it too. Just to go like 1,000-foot view is exactly that. Like the words will come, the questions will come now that you guys have like a reference point, but like what you did right there at its core is you just sold yourself. And for some reason with salespeople, like I don't understand. The most important thing you should be able to sell is yourself because people buy you. They don't really buy your product. They buy you, they buy the company, they buy the vision. And the hardest thing I've seen salespeople sell is themselves. And you just did it right there. So the words will come, and that sounded really fucking good. Maybe that specific dialogue doesn't work on every call, but you're gonna figure out a way to sell yourself. And if you truly mean that, and it could be as simple as, call me at 11 if there's a problem, I'll answer. If you need an order rushed, I'll take care of you. If you have a question about legalities on something or what another vendor's doing, now I don't make it a habit of bashing other people, but I can be there to bounce stuff off of, right? Mm-hmm. If pricing changes, I'm not gonna, manipulate you and sell you. I'm gonna figure out the problem with you. In other words, I know we've just met. I'm just asking for 1% of trust here, not your hand in marriage. I'll go to work on the 99%. Let's just start.
That does work. The 1%, and then I'll go fight for the 99. That does work.
So I want to get you guys prepared to go on the phone today. So is there anything, alligator closest to the boat, that you need to handle before we go?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
What?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
You look at it as steamrolling, right?
Uh-huh.
I look at it as asking questions and being in control of the conversation and not taking no for an answer. So when you walk into Best Buy to buy a TV and they say, can I help you? We say, no, because we've been trained by society. Salespeople bad. No, automatically. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. I walk into Nordstrom, Louis Vuitton, I walk into whatever, Sears, whatever the Sears still thing, I don't know. You walk in, you need help, sir? No, automatically. So that's what you're getting on the phone. No, what I'm teaching you is, if you want to learn how to steamroll, I'll teach you how to steamroll. That's way different. What I'm teaching you is they're saying no automatically, and we're using questions to keep them on the phone to break down that barrier of this to be able to get them to hear you. Because most salespeople that are calling these guys, they get 20, 30, 40 calls a day. They've accepted that objection. They've accepted that I have too much inventory. I'm not interested. A guy yesterday, you didn't even tell him what the we are. And he's like, yeah, I don't want it. Sir, do you even know what you don't want? Now, I know it could sound a little steamrolly, but I'm literally just asking a basic question to an answer. You know? Like, how do you know? He said it perfectly. How do you know I'm not here to give you 10 grand today, sir? You don't, because you just said you don't want it. And you don't even know what it is. And so that's what I'm trying to teach you guys, is to get the wheel running so we can begin to sell these people, because they're putting you off right away. It's almost like door knocking, you know? Like, you knock on the door and I'm not interested. Well, how do you know? How do you even know I'm here to sell you something, first of all? I mean, I am, but, you know, but how do you know for real? Like, we haven't even had a conversation yet. Well, I don't want to have a conversation. I totally get that. I hate talking to people too. But you know?
I think that's what I just need to be more in control of.
That guy yesterday, yeah, I'm really busy, I'm really busy, I'm really busy. That's what he kept saying every fucking time, but you use your questions. Okay, I understand you're busy. What is the order that you need? Oh, I need 111. Dude, I'm really busy. Totally get that. Do you understand you're going to save $300? Yeah, but I'm super busy right now, dude. Okay, I get that. Is your email the same? Yes. Okay, great. I'm going to send it to you. I'll text you. You know? Mm-hmm. Boom. It takes a little bit of a thick skin. That's why you have to have thick skin in sales. Yeah. Because we're gonna constantly be controlling the conversation. And here's the closing thought for the day before we get on the phones. And I'm gonna help these guys. You know, yesterday I was grabbing their phones and muting and feeding them lines to teach them. I'm gonna help you like that today too. The closing thoughts for the day. A couple. Number one, no one knows. Here's the thing. No one truly knows what they need until you sell it to them. That's number one. Okay, well, that's three. Buy or die. I am not going to hang up the phone. Either they're going to buy or they're going to hang up. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. The most respectful way possible. I don't want to piss anybody off or make anybody mad, but either you're hanging up or you're buying something. That's lesson number two. And lesson number three, here's the thing. You're going to find laydowns. You're going to find them. The guys that you call that are ready to buy, and you find them. You guys have found them, right? So the thing for us, though, is the best clients that I've had, and I like to include myself in this because I'm not always the easiest to sell, but once I'm in, I'm in. Once I like you, because I do have that guard up. And I am careful of who I associate myself with, and you know, I've owned many businesses in different industries, and I've gotten and people perceive that fuck them, and it's been drama, you know, so I'm slow to like align with people nowadays. So think about that when you're calling these people on the phone. How long have they been in business? How many businesses have they owned? And if you can truly, truly, truly win them over, the hardest people for me to close are still my longest time clients. Why is that? Because they made me work. They made me prove. Anytime they give you an objection, they're saying, I'm not convinced. They made me convince them that I'm the man I say I am, the business owner I say I am, that my product works, and that I will earn their trust and fight for them. And because of that, a lot of these guys that I co-manage with the floor, the leads, a lot of these guys come from that era because they were either haters or didn't believe me or just really hard to get a hold of or just didn't want to work. And as soon as it works, they'll buy anything I put out now, for the most part, and support me because they know I'll support them. So when you get on the phones today and the guy's giving you a hard time, just remember, sometimes the guys that's easiest to sell causes the most problems. The guys hardest to sell are going to be your lifelong clients that just go with the flow, but it takes a little bit of work. Cool? Yeah. All right, let's go.
The question is, what could I have said that would have led to like a better conversation? I started the call off like, hey, do you carry like disposables, flowers, pre-roll? Yeah, we carry some of those. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm calling you from Exodus. Like, what's your kind of process to go about onboarding some of the new stuff? Oh, I'm not interested right now. I was like, oh, okay, why is that? I have my vendors. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you went sales right away.
Yeah.
You went sales here right away. So,
okay.
So to ask the question better. So you said, what products do you sell? And they told you, and then you said, okay, great. What's your onboarding process like? Which is like a valid question. I get that, right? Like, it's not a bad question. Mm-hmm. What I would have said is, so we want to build value. We want to build hype. We want to get them building rapport with you. So you would say, okay, great. Out of those products, what is selling the best for you? And they're going to say, you know, the flowers are doing amazing. Oh, awesome. Like, what brands do you carry, out of curiosity? Oh, we carry A, B, and C. Awesome. Fucking dope. How many clients do you see a day? You see like 100 a day? Jesus, you have a busy shop.
I
What
got
is
to
it?
that point of the conversation because he asked me, he's like, are you trying to sell me something? And I told him, well, nah, actually. I want to see if, you know, even my products would even fit for your store. So do you carry like high count disposables, like a 5 gram? No, I carry like a 3.5 gram. Okay. And for your flour, how do you sell it? Oh, I do it kind of deli style, order pounds, cut it up in front of the customer. Okay. And your pre-rolls, what kind of gram counts are those? He said, oh, about a 2 gram. I was like, okay, I think I might have something that might work for you. What's your process of onboarding?
So you made it past the I'm not interested to this.
Yeah, to this.
Okay.
And then he said, I have my vendors. And then I hit him with the, okay, let's say your hemp gets banned tomorrow. Are your vendors going to take
What
off
state
the
is he
shelf?
in?
Wisconsin.
Is it getting banned tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
So if your hemp gets banned tomorrow, are your vendors going to take off your shelf? He's like, I don't expect that ban to come until June. All right, let's say in June.
June of next year.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's go to June
That's
then.
random. Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's go to June. Do you think
Sound
they'll
like
take
the
it off
best.
your shelf then? And they're like, yeah, they will. I was like, okay, cool. Seems like you're in the market with already good people. I'm here willing to do the same thing. What is your process? I don't want it right now. I was like, is there something wrong? Maybe it's me.
Okay,
You
so
can
this
tell?
is like I can tell that like he didn't laugh at all with you at
Nah, he's been dead serious.
You didn't laugh. Okay, yeah. So when this happens, laughter is the best way to connect. So I would have said, hey man, we keep passing, but I don't see a number on your back. You in the NFL? I don't think you're in the NFL. Now it might piss him off, but the goal is to get a laugh out of him and kind of break his defense down, because it sounds like we weren't able to get past his defense the entire call. So you're doing good. So compared to yesterday to today, I don't think it's an L. I think it's a W, because it sounds like you're keeping him on the phone. You're asking questions. You're not letting him off the phone. Is that right?
Yeah, he hung up.
Okay, cool. So now that you've got that part down, let's add some of that charismatic Q I know that makes people love him and laugh. So you got the questions down. That's great. So that was the first step. You guys are keeping people on the phone. You're not giving up. That's amazing. Now let's make them actually like you. That's what we're missing here. Is he doesn't know you. He doesn't like you, and now you're hard closing him, which is amazing. But with no rapport, it's not going to work all the time. So your goal now for the rest of the day is test some jokes that get them to laugh and lower their defenses. Remember, who do people buy from?
Me.
And people have to like you.
Like me, yep.
They
that's
have to
right.
like you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's do it. You take some cojones. Now throw in a joke like, hey, bro, I know you gotta like that, dog. I know you got, hey, shh. You hear that? What? That's a money counter I'm sending you, dog. All the money we're gonna make. You know what I'm saying? Throw some of those in. Use your personality. Use your rapport building capabilities on how you get people to like you, how to get them to laugh. Throw in 1 or 2 of those. Bring the defenses down. It's not so serious. This is not so serious. We're having a good time.
It's just the older crowd. Like I can't really.
They don't
connect
understand the
with.
jokes.
Like they don't understand the jokes that I have.
Like, mine
like
would
a
be
younger
like-
dude, I can make them laugh all the time. But like the older people, which is the main business, it's like
Make fun of yourself. When in default, I make fun of myself.
I'll say I'll kill myself.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's intense. You know what I mean?
Or I'll be like, these laws are like having a significant other. It's just like, one day everything's, up in the air, it's great and all, and then the other day they complain.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, if it works, utilize it. So
Some it does.
I would find 3 or 4 jokes that I could tell to bring the defenses down to laugh, and I would stick with them. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change the recipe, because I'm not a comedian. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna try this thing around a new guy, and it doesn't work, and it backfires, which I've done plenty of times. Is how I learned my lesson. Find a few that work on the older crowd, if that's who you're talking to, and if it works, great. And you know what we have today that's amazing? Ask ChatGPT.